we're broadcasting from Elvira, Portugal.
Evora.
What is it?
Elvora.
I
told Jason
No, it's Evora.
Evora. He's right. No, L. Evora.
Evora, Portugal.
But not Elvira. Evora.
Well, that's how we were remembering it, Elvira.
That's how Jason was remembering it.
You told me.
Well, I did tell you to remember it that way because you were. What were you calling it? Like crazy stuff. But what we did on this trip was left our last few days open. I did do some research.
Well, we also had a recommendation of a guy in Porto.
2 or 3 people recommended that we should experience not to go all the way to the...
It was in the Douro Valley.
Bruno.
Bruno.
And the other guy who drove us in Sintra, I think, recommended just going to the... I hope I get it right. I know that...
It was 2 people.
Alentejo region, which is just south of... Lisbon, but not all the way as far as the Algarve, and just kind of, so this was the capital of the Alentejo, God, I'll have to fix this, region, Evora. Now, I kind of wanted, when I got here, so we drove from the Douro Valley down here.
It was a long-ass drive.
We made it even longer because we stopped to see some towns.
Yeah, we did a castle tour, man. We're driving along, and we would see some sign about some castle, and it's like, oh, let's go check this out.
And then I wanted to drive out of the way to see Monsanto.
Oh, that place was brutal. I mean, it was beautiful. It was this medieval freaking castle. But my God, it was so vertical. We about wore ourselves out.
But aren't you so glad we stopped there?
We almost didn't make it up to the castle.
We need to be in better shape to do some more. That's one thing we realized is traveling in our 60s, we're going to have to get into some good shape to travel.
That's a young people's castle.
But they filmed some episodes of not Game of Thrones, but the next one, the Dragons, the home of the dragons, the land of the dragons. I don't know.
Oh, and I can understand why they filmed it there. That place just looked so medieval, mystical, kind of magical surroundings.
It was someplace like you've never seen.
Yeah.
It's like you walk up the hill and there's houses and the boulders in the mountain are part of their walls, and it was crazy. It was crazy.
Houses built right into the rock.
And not very far from the border of Spain. So inland in Portugal is a little less, there's not as many people, certainly not as many tourists, and not as many people who even live there. But here's the thing. I'm not even there yet, to my whole point. This is supposed to be a short. 2 things.
Yeah, it's real fucking short.
Listen, God damn it. We fucked up. We keep talking, and it's not even funny. But here's what I want to say.
The point, then. I think that point was when you visit a city in a foreign country. You have to. It takes a little time to get a feel.
It does. You cannot just. The thing about these tours where you just like go on a day trip to someplace, you cannot get a feel for an area or a city in just a day trip. You can't. You just can't. We got to Evora yesterday. Late in the day. The place that we're staying, which is, you can see, it's actually pretty cool. It's like a farm right on the outskirts.
I don't think they can see. It's
you
dark.
can't, but we're on the patio. We have this house practically to ourselves. It's a farmhouse 2 miles outside of the city of Evora in Portugal. I was kind of like, oh, we've stayed at these awesome places. This is a little bit far away. And then I wasn't that thrilled with Evora. I'm like, I wish we had gone to a city on the seashore. I wish we had done this. I wasn't cracked on it. I was like, then last night we went out to dinner. It was dark. We didn't know the city.
It was horrible. I tried to drive right into the heart of the city to get close to the restaurant.
Just to get a couple of sandwiches.
Absolutely impossible.
We have no feel for where we are, what we're doing. It's dark.
It's not the way to do it.
We went to a little cute place. No big deal, though. I had a couple of Bafana pork sandwiches.
But the driving was horrible. I'm talking narrow, medieval, cobblestone streets that, you're trying to get your car down through the road, and it's, walls are scrubbing both sides. It's very difficult.
So what I want to say is, yesterday I was ready to check out of this place and say we made a mistake. I don't want to spend my last 3 days in Portugal here.
Yeah, she was ready to check out.
Yeah, I was. And but today I did some work. We slept in late. I did some work, and we went to the town, and it was like this town was a different place in the light of day.
We went into the city, found a place to park, and left our car there.
We also looked up what were the cool things to see. We did some walking. We saw the
Yeah.
Chapel of Bones. We saw the Roman ruins. We saw the palace. We went to the same area we were in last night, and it looked magical.
Last night when we were there,
I thought we were going to get mugged.
she thought we were going to get mugged. The little side streets spooked her. Today we're there in the daylight. No,
And I'm ready to move here.
Cutest place. She's ready to find a place to move here. I mean, it's just proof that it takes a little time to get the real feel for a city.
And now, literally, this town is adorable. It has these little neighborhoods with whitewashed houses. It has tree-lined streets. It's a perfect
it has
size.
beautiful cathedrals, Roman ruins.
Great restaurants. We had an awesome meal tonight. We bought some wine.
Actually, one of the best meals we've had on vacation
was here.
Yeah.
It was delicious, actually. And a cute little street. I'm just saying, a day can make all the difference. You can't, and even driving. Yesterday, we stopped in 3 towns. I won't even say what they are. We stopped in 3 towns. We saw the castles. We got a tiny feel for the area and the towns. We liked them. But it was, stressful and tiring. You go see something, you see this site, and you're like, okay, let's move on. We still got to drive. It's not the same as staying somewhere. So when you're planning things, think about that. Think about staying someplace for 2 or 3 days and chilling out part of the time and seeing stuff part of the time and talking to the people.
Give yourself enough time to get the feel of the place.
Yeah. Portugal's only the same size as Indiana, where we're from. It's hard to believe.
Seems a hell of a lot bigger when you're driving around.
Yeah. I love Indiana, but we don't have as much cool stuff to see in Indiana as they do in Portugal.
But I'm going to tell you what, they don't have anything that compares to our cornfields.
They don't. Or our basketball gyms. There's nothing like that.
We have a shit ton of basketball gyms and cornfields.
Yeah. So those are my pointers. Go to a town, chill out, and enjoy yourself before you give up on it.